This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we have a Samsung dishwasher that isn't cleaning the dishes as well as it should. We checked the spray arms to make sure there's nothing clogging the little holes, just to make sure there's no mechanical problem. And they look good. So I want to check below the filter assembly just to make sure there's not a bunch of junk caught in there. So this video will show us how to get in there and remove the filter assembly and make sure everything's clean underneath. So I just pulled up on the lower spray arm, just comes right off, and I'm going to use a standard head screwdriver to pry off the water tubes that bring water up to the upper spray arms. I'm just going to pry it straight up, and then I'm going to be removing these screws that are holding the filter assembly in position. There's a whole bunch of them. Sometimes if you get a lot of food debris caught in there, you can have a situation where the dishwasher just won't build up enough water pressure to clean very well. So we just sped up the film here a little bit, but we want to get through this part fast. So we're just removing all these screws, and then we can lift this whole assembly up and out. Gotta make sure we get them all out. It's really good to rinse dishes before you put them in so you don't get the stuff building up, but if you don't, sometimes you can get enough built up where it just clogs the mechanism. So I'm going to pull the whole thing out now, and then the sub-assembly is held in mainly by a screw that's holding in the impeller. The impeller spins and creates a water pressure. Sometimes there's stuff caught in the impeller. So to get the impeller off, we're going to just remove this little screw. And it's a reverse thread, so you're actually turning it to the right clockwise to loosen it. So it's righty-loosey instead of righty-tighty. Now I'm going to pull up on this diverter, just pull straight up, and I can take off the sub-assembly. That off, and then there's the chopper blade underneath. You can make sure that's nice and clean. And I'm just picking up any debris I can find in here. Doesn't look too bad. Use a turkey baster to get in and get rid of all the water down here. This is where the water drains out from the dishwasher. I want to make sure that there's nothing caught in there. So if you don't rinse your dishes, you might need to do this procedure like once a year or something. It's not that important. But what it does is it gets all the debris out of the way, and the water flows better, and it'll do a better job cleaning your dishes. I'm just looking down in that slot there to make sure there's nothing caught. That's again where the water drains out. Sometimes you can get a slow drain because there's stuff in the way, and you can just clear it out with your finger. So it looks good. We'll go ahead and put it all back together. We got it cleaned out. So we're going to put the sub-assembly back in first. It's very modular, so it can only go back on one way, so you can't get it wrong. Before you put the impeller back, take a good look at it and make sure that the veins, the little places where the water is pushed, is nice and clear. There's no junk caught in there. There's the diverter. You just keep twisting it, and it'll eventually just drop down into position. There's the impeller. And to tighten it, you're going to go to the left. You're going to go counterclockwise, or lefty. It's usually lefty-loosey. This time it's lefty-tighty because this is a reverse thread. So you hold the impeller and just spin that down. Doesn't have to be super tight. Now we'll put the filter assembly back in. If something ever gets caught in the drain and it's preventing the impeller from moving, the drain impeller, I'm just going to push this thing back down in. Then you have to remove the dishwasher from the cabinet and take off the bottom pieces to get to the drain motor. So it's a little more involved. I'm just putting all the screws back in. Got this sped up. And be careful not to over tighten these. Just put them in where they're snug. So hope this has been helpful to you. Thanks so much for watching. And please subscribe to our channel when you get a chance. Thanks so much for watching.